Hello and welcome to Goulburn, New South Wales, Australia's first inland city and home to Australia's newest motorsport facility, One Raceway. This circuit is celebrating its first birthday as the 7th round of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul gets underway with only 4 races left in the season and Josh Waters on the cusp of making history for the 2nd year in a row. Last time out at Phillip Island, it was another round win for the reigning champion Waters as he surged to victory in race 1, before finishing 2nd behind race 2 winner Ant West, who had his most successful ASBK weekend ever, adding a maiden pole position to his weekend tally to finish 2nd overall for the round. Superbike Championship points heading into round 7 sees Waters on the verge of a record 5th championship with a 69-point lead over Mike Jones in 2nd. Ant West has closed within 3 points of Jones, with Glenn Allerton in 4th and Brock Pearson rounding out the top 5. Qualifying for round 7 saw Jones secure the Stop and Seal pole award, his 3rd of the year, with a new fastest ever lap of One Raceway, letting Waters know he is not surrendering the title without a fight. MotoGo Yamaha's Cameron Dunker scored his first front row qualifying spot with a perfectly timed run in 2nd, with Josh Waters rounding out the front row. Now it's time to have a more in-depth look at One Raceway with 2009 World Endurance Champion Steve Martin and 2003 World Supersport Champion Chris Vermeulen.
Well, happy birthday to the One Raceway. It's been a year since we've been here, Chris.
Yeah, and what a year it's been. It was spectacular last year when we turned up. New circuit again, resurfaced, you know, all this work and money put into this fantastic circuit, and it made for some great ASBK racing, didn't it, Steve? I mean, the action was on, the racing was close. It's just it's a cool place to come to, and now, after 12 months of this surface being used, the riders can come back and they know what they've got to chase.
Especially this first complex. I mean, how critical was this and how exciting is it?
It's pretty cool. You've got to have some bravery to come in here very, very fast, and a lot of apexes through here, 3 at least, and trying to get as much grip as you can on the right-hand side of the tyre.
Absolutely. And then it's all about that critical drive up to Kawasaki corner, the first left-hander.
I do love a circuit with elevation change like this one, Steve, but when you come down the hill here into Ducati corner, that's where things really start to tighten up.
It's one of the most exciting corners on this circuit, for me, for a few reasons. It's a great overtaking opportunity. It can really suck you in. And boy, if you're ever going to see a crash, it's going to be there.
Well, it is off camber. There's a couple of surface changes as well. And like you say, downhill, you're really pushing the front end, which sort of makes you double apex this, which is important to be in the right part of the track to get the change of direction through SW-Motech up there.
Another important corner, that one too, because if you don't get that drive right onto the back straight, you're leaving yourself open for an overtaking opportunity into the new bowl.
Steve, we spoke about elevation change on this track, but what they've done in this final bowl section to give the camber and the character, it's very special, isn't it?
I don't think there's anywhere like this in the whole of Australia. This is absolutely unique to the One Raceway, and I like it a lot, I really do.
Yeah, it is a crucial part of the track. You come in here very fast, changing direction, and then you get that positive camber. I think it's crucial for the teams as well on bike setup and the rider and how they can manage that, because the force in here is going to really be loading that suspension quite hard. So a tricky place to get the right bike setup.
And for me, this is the most critical part of this whole circuit. This is your last chance to get to that finish line, your last overtaking chance, Chris.
It is, and getting onto that My Bike straight, it's a short run to that finish line.
The one thing we've learnt, Chris, this track is definitely not easy to put together. This is your Ducati track preview for One Raceway.
And Steve, this championship is getting very exciting because with 4 races to go, Josh Waters stands on the brink of making history for the 2nd year in a row.
And he is absolutely doing his absolute best. Let's head down to Chris to find out more.
Yeah, thanks guys. On the grid here, things are starting to warm up. It feels good conditions here. What's it like out on the track, Mike Jones?
Yeah, look, obviously the morning warm-up was a little bit earlier, you know, a bit cooler then. Now it's, like I said, the warming up now, it's pretty good conditions for the race, just getting a little bit windy, but not as windy as what it's been earlier in the weekend. So Yeah, I think, as always, the race start from the front's great, but yeah, the plan is, you need a good start, and it really depends on the strategy. Just depends on how the start goes. So if you can get to the front, obviously then you can control the race from there. But otherwise, if you end up, as always, Josh is unreal on the starts there. So there's a good chance that there'll be bikes ahead of us. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
And that lap time you did in qualifying, that was sensational. 58.4, I think it was. How is tyre life? Like, are you going to be able to run 58 pace? What do you expect here?
Yeah, look, I think we did a lot of laps on used tyre, and honestly, I felt pretty comfortable with the used tyre. So I think I'm confident that the bike will be good towards the end of the race. So even in morning warm up, we did a lot of 58s, like high 58s. So. I think that's kind of going to be the pace for at least the first half of the race, maybe back to the low 59s for the second half. But I think it's going to be pretty quick.
Yeah. It looks quick from the outside. Good luck, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Thanks.
Yes, big weekend for this man, Josh Waters. Front row of the grid, but you can wrap up the Australian Superbike Championship. Sorry to put the pressure on it.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Oh, really? No one even mentioned that this weekend. Well, there you go. You can wrap up the Australian Superbike Championship. Now, how is that? Are you feeling that pressure this weekend? Is it something else, or are you just going out there and doing your job?
I wish I could lie and say that, but yeah, 100% it's like that. This is a unique little circuit. I was really happy with the improvements we made yesterday compared to Friday. So, the races, 2 very difficult races coming up. All I can do is try my best. Yeah.
Well, you've won a lot of them this year. We know how to do it. Good luck.
Thanks heaps.
There you go, and you can tell there is pressure there. Even though he's been so dominant this season, to be out there and feel that pressure and race with it and try not to make mistakes and go quick and run with these guys, it's never easy. While he puts his helmet on, I'll see if I can grab a quick word with Troy Herfoss. Troy, great to see you back. First of all, we saw you at Phillip Island, fell off on the getting to the grid, injured yourself. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yep. Hey, the ego's more bruised than anything, mate. But
I got to honestly say I've never done that before, so I don't feel it, but I don't want to either. But really coming to grips, 4th place on the Yamaha. You haven't spent a lot of time on the bike. Pretty impressive from the outside.
yeah, mate, it's a credit to the whole YRT team. I'm really enjoy working with them, and it's tough, I got Mike Jones doing incredible things in this bike, so they've done a really good job of making the bike work for the way I want it to work. Same as any racer. I'd love another day, but hey, we're here. We're P4. Mike's just there. The race is just there, and tools down for the guys now. It's up to me.
We know it's up to you. You know how to do it. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
And just before I head off the grid, guys, I will let you know, I just spoke to Pirelli briefly. The track temperature is warming up, so we're about 39 degrees surface temperature. The air's perfect. I'd say it's 24 to 25 degrees. That wind is picking up, like Mike Jones mentioned. But it is a little bit sort of side on. It's not direct tailwind down the straight. So I think when they get past the end of the pit wall, they'll sort of get hit a little bit with it. But it probably helps them into turn 1, if you like. So, pretty good conditions for an Australian Superbike race, I reckon.
But it is Mike Jones that will start from pole position with Cameron Dunker in second, Josh Waters in third, Herfoss, Pearson and Ant West on the second row.
Crew Halliday now on the Ducati. Jack Favell, he's been so quick this weekend as well there in 8th position. John Littress knocking on the heels of those guys in front. Ty Lynch there, Glenn Allen, who we saw had that problem on the grid.
Yeah, JJ Nahles was extremely fast on Friday, then unfortunately destroyed a motorcycle, and that slowed his pace down a little bit. Josh Sutherland, Ryan Yanko and Paul Linkenbar, who we saw having problems, round out the 15 bike grid here this weekend. A couple of riders not able to make it. Of course, Max Stover's overseas and doing some great work over there. We miss you, Max, and we were wishing that you were here. Hopefully we'll see you at the bend. So, ready to go racing. Jones on that front row of the grid, the pole position man, the fastest ever lap of the One Raceway venue, improving by a massive margin. In fact, the top 5 in Superbike qualifying, all under the pole position time from last year. There's unfortunately Paul Linkenbar's machine being pushed back to the pits. Green flag leaves the front of the grid. Red flag leaves the front. We are ready to go racing. SW-Motech Superbike race number 1 from round 7 here at One Raceway. Superbikes are go. Good start from Waters, the driver of the Ducati off the line. Gets him up level with Cameron Dunker pretty early, but it is Jones that will lead them down in towards turn 1 for the first time. Dunker back to third.
Oh, Jones wide.
Dunker through and into the lead of the race early. Herfoss on a charge as well. He's pulled up next to Jones. In fact, he's gone up into second.
Oh, he's wide.
He's run very wide into Kawasaki corner, but he'll come back in third place. Waters back to fourth place, and there's more action in the first couple of corners than we normally see.
That was very hectic start to the race, but nevertheless, a great start for Cam Dunker, who leads out front.
Herfoss up into second, he'll be pretty happy with, Herfoss up into second momentarily, he'll be pretty happy with that, but just got into Kawasaki corner a little bit too hot. I think he's made his intentions quite clear in front of his home crowd. A good start too for Crew Halliday, up into 5th position. Crew Halliday, who was always berating himself, Steve, for being an average starter, has been going pretty well so far on the 2 meetings that he's had on board that Craig McMartin prepared stop and seal Ducati.
Yeah, I reckon Cam Dunker's doing a good job out front at the moment. There's a little gap back to third place.
Westy on a charge up the inside of Favell.
Yep. Well,
that will move him up into a 7th place.
Westy's been so quick all weekend as well, so he'll be ruining that start for sure. Behind Crew Halliday there.
News coming through that the problem with Paul Linkenbar's machine was a faulty battery. So hopefully he can get that sorted and get out onto the grid for race number 2. Go back to Wardens now, currently sitting in 4th position. Oh, Jones, how fast was he running into the bottom of the hill there at Ducati corner? Jeez, that was, how close was that, Steve?
Yeah, absolutely. Down the hill he goes again, and Jones is just so tight, so good on that full lean angle, and it won't be long and he's going to be chewing up Cam Dunker by the look of the speed that he's got at the moment. And I tell you what, if he continues this pace on, it looks like he might run away with it.
So 58.9 for Jones, the fastest lap of the race on the first flying lap. 59.0 for our race leader Dunker, 59.0 for Herfoss in 3rd place.
Yeah, I tell you what, Dunker is... It's real hard to pass at this track. So with Dunker doing those times, it's going to be hard for Mike Jones to find a way through. But I'll tell you, watch into the Ducati corner down here. Mike Jones is the sort of guy that will run up the inside, but he can't do it just here this time.
Well, one of the things that Cam Dunker has been doing is doing a lot of riding of a lot of different motorcycles, whether it's the Superbike here, whether it's the Superbike in Asia, whether it's the Avali and Mini GP, whether it's his flat track machine or his Supermoto. He's riding everything. At the moment, he's doing a lot of riding, a lot of training, and he's looking incredibly bike fit as well. On the pace from Friday this weekend, so no surprise to see him up there leading this race on Patrick Lee's MotoGo Yamaha machine.
I spoke with Patrick Lee yesterday, actually, and he said, we haven't had a win yet. We really want to get a win. Is it 50 Superbike races that team have done now?
This is their 50th round, I think it is, in the Australian Superbike Championship. A monumental weekend for Patrick and the team.
Look at Troy Herfoss. Herfoss is caught right up onto the back now. Then there's a little bit of a gap back to Josh Waters.
Herfoss just at the fastest lap of the race with a 58.776. That's what's dragged him right up onto the back of our 2 race leaders.
That's equalled his qualifying time. How's he done that?
They didn't call him the governor of Goulburn for nothing, because he was always a superstar here in front of his home fans, and he's proving that he's still got the polish as Troy Herfoss, even though he said it's 9 years since he moved away from Goulburn. It feels like he never left when he comes back home, because he used to just live over the hill from the Wakefield Park circuit that was here for many, many years. Now he's moved away. One Raceway has taken over as the premier motorsport event location in Goulburn, and Troy Herfoss is back. He's back in Goulburn and he wants to take another victory at One Raceway.
This is really going to test the resolve of Cam Dunker on the MotoGo Yamaha out front. If you can just keep those lines, this is a track where you really need to be inch perfect. It's so easy to run wide. It's bumpy in spots. You're always pushing the front end here. It's easy to make a mistake. You just saw Brock Pearson's Desmo Sport Ducati and how much that was moving around.
Well, Brock Pearson was very, very good here last year, remember, too. So he's starting to move forward as well, currently sitting in 5th position. He's got Drew Halliday camped on his ducktail, but Probably more worrying for Brock Pearson, his fellow Queenslander Ant West, who has shown serious pace over the last couple. Look at the line that Ant West can hold through the bowl, Steve. That is completely outrageous what he just did on the Addicted to Track Yamaha. Up the inside of Crew Halliday, as smooth as silk, but Halliday blasts on past, back down the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start finish straight.
Oh wow, that was that was pretty impressive by Ant West. And then he had it handed to him down the straight, didn't he, right there? So when they watch that back, it'll be interesting to see what they say.
Well, it was one of the things that Crew Halliday said he was looking forward to doing once he got hold of that Ducati, was passing people in a straight line. And he just did it with vigour down the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start finish straight. But look at this, the two Yamaha Racing Team machines have closed up onto the back of the 17-year-old from Curry, but they can't find a way past. Dunker is doing Dunker things out front.
This is a super impressive ride by Troy Herfoss. I mean, we spoke last time out with Scott Bishop about, Herfoss and putting him on the bike, and Herfoss wanted to ride it. And Bishop said, well, when someone like Herfoss asks, you can't say no. And he's just proven that it's the right choice for him to be on that bike. It's no easy feat to come in, get on a superbike you haven't ridden, and run at the front with these guys. He's just dropping off the pace a slight bit now. But maybe he made some sort of small error, not sure. See if he can pull that gap back up into road and race. I mean, I've got to be super impressed with Cam Dunker. His 59.0 is his fastest lap time, 59.2 last time round, and he's been just doing 59.1, 59.2. That time through, he's just done again.
So the lead for Dunker as he came across the line was 0.2 of a second over Mike Jones. Troy Herfoss in third, 1.1 seconds behind our race leader. Josh Waters in fourth. Crew Halliday in fifth, and as we get to the top of the hill, it is Jones that has now taken the lead. What can he do though? Can he start to move ahead? Can he move away from Dunker? Or can Dunker now go with the three-time Australian Superbike champion as he makes a bid to try and take a race win here and close down that championship lead and prevent Josh Waters taking his record fifth Australian Superbike championship here at One Raceway?
Away they go, and you're right, Phil. It's Jonesy now, who has literally just put the hammer down, hasn't he? Look at him go.
What's he going to be able to uncork on this lap, Steve? Do you reckon he can drop? Well, I think Jones actually said that he thought that high 58s would probably be about the race pace until halfway through the race, when it may drop into the low 59s. The 58.832 for Jones. That's his fastest lap of the race and only a fraction off the fastest lap of the race set earlier on by Troy Herfoss. Cameron Dunker in second, Herfoss still in third. So Dunker still holding on to the back of Jones here as we start lap number 11, just over half race distance. Jones has just got ahead, but Dunker, Steve, is doing a great job to hang on. In fact, they're opening up the gap over Troy Herfoss. It's out to 1.4 seconds now.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what Dunker can do. Can he was back to 59.4s when Mike Jones went past. Can he now pick his pace up that he's able to follow Mike Jones, follow his lines? He's in hot there, though, a little bit wide there.
Looked like all of them got into the bowl section at Yamaha Revs Your Heart corner very, very fast there. Westy right up onto the back of Crew Halliday. Halliday will unleash the Fireburners as they come down the straight now. Just pulls away on board that stop and seal Ducati. Closing in behind Ant West as well. Brock Pearson just trying to hold off Jack Favell and JJ Nalos, who is continuing to circulate around inside that top 10 as well on his debut here this weekend on board that Motor City Honda CBR 1000 RRR.
Yeah, doing a good job, isn't he? After the start of the weekend, he had a big off earlier on, but it's good now. He's on bike number 2, and he's holding it all together and circulating well. In fact, he's quicker than Jack Favell on track.
Oh, Herfoss, you could see he was pushing very hard there into Kawasaki corner as Waters closes in on board that On Your Bike Adventures KW Civil McMartin Racing with K-Tech Ducati V4R.
I'll tell you who's closing in, Ant West. 59.0 for Ant West, second fastest guy on track last time through.
Yeah, 0.3 faster than Herfoss, in fact, Steve, as they make their way through SW-Motech now. You can see the gap that Crew Halliday has got now to Ant West, who's just managed to really put in a couple of fast laps in a row.
It's going to be interesting to see if Ant West goes for the podium here. He's got a good shot at it.
He's got an excellent shot at it because we've got 5 laps to go now, 15 laps down. Look at the body language of Westy.
Oh, yeah.
He is on an absolute mission now.
He's caught right onto the back of those two guys.
Well,
58.9 for Anthony West, the same pace as your leader, 0.5 quicker than Josh Waters in front of him.
yeah, only 0.2 of a second slower than the fastest lap of the race that was done by Troy Herfoss on lap 3, on lap 15.
Yeah, this is going to be big. Where's he going to try and attack the number 1 rider?
Well, he already knows how fast or how hard it is to try and overtake those very fast in a straight line Ducatis because he's already experienced it with the sister bike of Josh Waters' machine when he had to try and deal with Crew Halliday. That took him a couple of laps to try and find his way past. Has he learnt anything from that, Steve?
He's going up the inside.
He's going up the inside. He's done a repeat of exactly what he did on Crew Halliday earlier on in this race. Is Josh Waters going to do exactly what Crew Halliday did to him and just blast it back down the straight? He tries hard, but Westy got the drive out of the final corner, turn 13, and down the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start-finish straight. And there was no way that Josh Waters could get back. West's target is now firmly affixed on the back of bike number 17.
Yeah, wow. Herfoss will be watching that lap board. The gap between them's 0.6 of a second at the moment, so there's not much in it.
So Allerton still not 100% fit and hasn't been able to do much training in the lead up to this one. But Westy is ahead of Herfoss. Westy is ahead of Herfoss now and up onto the podium positions. Oh, we said that Westy was on a charge and he's got the better of Herfoss. Getting the hurry up there from the Addicted to Track team.
That's pretty impressive by Anthony West. Didn't take him long at all to get past those two guys. But we know Herfoss, he is a fighter. He will not give up. And even if he has a sniff of a chance, he will make the move back. And look up through the top, SW-Motech there. He is right on the back and looking. He's gone wide there, but he's right on the back wheel of Anthony West through that sector of the track. And he's going to dive up the inside. He's had none of it.
Well, 2 KG riders here in Ant West and Troy Herfoss. They are going to go all the way to the flag to determine who is going to take this final podium position behind our race leader, Mike Jones, who has a 2-second lead over Cameron Dunker.
Herfoss wants this.
Only a couple of laps to go here. Herfoss wants it in front of his home crowd. A lot of the Goulburn locals have turned out to watch both Troy Herfoss, Tom Taparis in the big classes and also the local man Charlie Nichols in the Blue Crew Junior Cup this weekend.
Bit of a wheelie there from Herfoss out of that final corner too, which didn't help him too much. But look at the rear slide now from Troy Herfoss. And Westy can see that as they're on the final lap. You know that Westy's going to have a go down into the Ducati corner, isn't he?
Well, Westy's going to have a go wherever he can, but Herfoss will have to try and fight back immediately if he wants to try and take this final podium place here this weekend in front of his adoring fans. Westy can't do it at the bottom of the hill, Steve. It's going to have to be the tight line through the bowl corner that he's done to both Crew Halliday and Josh Waters if he wants to try and get the better of Herfoss. But I think Herfoss, he's going to be aware that Westy's got a few tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah, well, that trick there is pretty secretive, and I don't think he's done it to Herfoss before, so Herfoss may leave that to door open, but it is Mike Jones who takes the win on the number 46 Yamaha. Well done, Mike.
Cameron Dunker, a podium position for the Moto Go team, and at the line it is Herfoss just over West by 0.059 of a second, who gets that final podium position. Oh, what a race from Troy Herfoss.
But Mike Jones takes the win. Cam Dunker, what a brilliant podium for him. He looked like he was going to win for most of that race, but he just couldn't hold off Mike Jones. Herfoss in third.
Yeah, Ant West, a great ride in fourth position. Josh Waters takes fifth and some good championship points with Crew Halliday in sixth. Brock Pearson dropped back to seventh. Jack Favell in eighth. JJ Nalos in ninth, and Glenn Allerton rounds out your top 10.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff with Johnny Littress in that 11th. Ty Lynch in 12th, and Josh Sodlin in 14th.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. What an SW-Motech Superbike race that was. And Troy Herfoss, the first race you actually start for Yamaha, you're on the podium. Well done.
Oh, Chris, this is amazing. Yeah, it's been a couple of years since I've raced in Goulburn. I've been overseas a little bit, and yeah, to get an opportunity to race in front of my home friends and family, just so incredible. And hey, Yamaha 1, 2, 3. that's such an amazing effort, and I'm not sure when we done that last, but just a credit to the whole YRT team, and just really a big thank you for letting me take the bike on a journey I want to take it on. It's really hard having a teammate like Mike Jones, you know, because you've got a bike that can do it. So they've made me feel really at home, and I can't say thank you enough. Also, thanks to my team back in the States. I really appreciate you allowing me to do this in front of my friends and family. Yeah, congratulations to Mike, Cam, and Westy. I've got a bit of Westy rubber on me. That was just so much fun. I can't wait for another one.
Well, we love to watch it. Congratulations. Good luck for the next one.
Thank you.
There you go. It's our third place man. And second place, his first podium this year with the MotoGo Yamaha team, Cam Dunker. What a race. You led a lot of that. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was a good race for me. First time being able to lead that many laps consecutively was a bit unknown for me, but I just tried to ride my own race and yeah, made a little mistake at turn 2. Mike come past me and I just didn't have the pace to stick with him. So yeah, I can't thank my team enough. They gave me an awesome bike, but yeah, now we go back and try and make it better to beat Mike in the next one.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Good luck.
Thank you.
There you go, second place man. And our race winner from pole position, Mike Jones. You made it look easy, but I'm sure it wasn't.
Yeah, look, it was a really good race. You know, the start, I made a really good jump and launch, and then ran myself wide in the first turn, just a little tiny bit, and Cam went past me. But, you know, that was actually really good for the race because I had a carrot in front of me just to, you know, it just made the race go by nice and easy. And, you know, he just made a small little mistake into turn 1 there, and I zipped up the inside, and I just put the hammer down for a few laps there just to try and stretch that gap out. And, you know, like we spoke about before the start of the race, I was pretty confident that we had good race pace. So the bike felt good towards the end.
It looked fantastic. You've kept the championship alive. Good luck for race 2.
Awesome. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
There you go. Our podium finishes for the SW-Motech Superbike race 1.
Anthony, you're the happiest that I've seen you. I'm not going to say in a long time, I'm going to say ever at the moment, because you are absolutely on fire on the bike, and it just shows around the paddock.
Yeah, who would have thought at 44 years old? But no, feeling really good. Last few rounds, we've just been gaining momentum. The team have been doing a great job, and it's just, everyone keeps asking me, like, what's the difference? And there's no massive difference. It's just the team working together well. Mark, the owner of the team, he runs it like a business. Everything's like accounted for, and there's a schedule, and there's a preparation, and a lot of thought goes into what we do before we get to the racetrack, and it's showing in the results now. It's just when I get on the bike, it's always exactly the same as I rode it before, and now like here at One Raceway, it's just been like just little changes now. The bike always feels great, so I don't need to make massive changes, and I just got to ride it.
Last time out at Phillip Island, you were absolutely on fire, and you got that pole position and victory that you've been searching for the last 4 or 5 years in this championship. I mean, how did it feel? I mean, going into that meeting, everyone automatically thought this was Josh Waters' race.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like everything sort of comes together and clicks. You can't really pick what's changed, but yeah, we turned up there and was going fast from the first laps out and ended up pole position, which is pretty unusual for me. I've never been known as a great qualifier. I'm definitely a better racer than I am a qualifier. But somehow I did an awesome lap and put it on the front row, and then the race turned out good as well. And the last few races, everything's starting to click, and we're starting to go fast.
Into that race at Phillip Island though, I mean, when did you think, I've actually got a shot of winning this? Was it on the start line before you took off, or was it like after a few laps and you were at the front and, you know, like no one's going past you?
Yeah, I kind of felt like I've got this race because everything else during the weekend was going so well. And then it was about halfway through the race and I kept getting carved up by a different rider every time. Jack went past me, JJ, Brock, everyone. There's so many people kept passing me, but I was able to keep getting them back and stay at the front. And then halfway through, I'm like, no, this is my race. And I just committed, put my head down, and I think that's what helped. I just had the bit more confidence in the bike and riding the track, and that's what got me over the line.
That's incredible. I mean, the way that you handled yourself there, I mean, the jubilation that we saw, I mean, I bumped into you at the service station on the way home afterwards, and you were still smiling at like 8 o'clock at night, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah, no, exactly. It doesn't matter, like racing Australian Championship or World Championship. If you're winning races, you're smiling and you're happy, and I think that's what I'm having fun with it now again.
Turning our attention to this track here, the One Raceway, you've just taken off from where you left off at Phillip Island. You're right on the pace again.
Yeah, no, we were good yesterday. First in the first practice yesterday, and only second in the last one. Mike is trying to push me because we're pretty close in the points at the moment. So my goal is to overtake him and try and get second in championship, and definitely try and beat Josh this weekend.
All right, mate. Well, we wish you the best of luck out there, and we cannot wait to see you in action.
It's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. So it should be good.
Can't wait to get away under racing conditions for the SW-Motech Superbike class, and you'll see that Mike Jones, Cameron Dunker and Josh Waters will start from the front row of the grid.
It's Herfoss, Pearson and West on that row too, with Halliday, Favell and John Littris starting out of 9th. Ty Lynch in 10th. Ty's had a good weekend this weekend, with Glenn Allerton struggling a little bit, problems with his bike. Let's hope they've got that sorted. Jonathan Nalis on the Honda this weekend. Sodlin, Yanko and Lindbach round out your field.
Yeah, let's hope that Paul Linkenbar's battery has been replaced and he's able to take up his position on the grid. He was unable to start in race number 1 earlier on today.
Yeah, it's always the small things that put you out, isn't it? You think that it's right to go, but it's not. Luckily, I'm sure that he would have had a spare or been able to find one, so fingers crossed he's out there.
All right, coming round to take up the positions on the grid, they are SW-Motech Superbike category. Third last race of the 2025 season. Waters holds a healthy championship lead and can win this race or win the championship if he finishes better than 4th place, regardless of what Jones does. I'm sure that Josh Waters has been reminded of that countless times today as we get ready to go racing. Jones from pole position. Superbikes are go. Great start from all of the riders on the front row of the grid. Dunker has got another cracking start, and he'll tuck in behind Jones as they head down through Pirelli for the first time. What's Herfoss doing? He's around the outside of Waters. He's got another great start from the second row of the grid as well, and he'll have to settle for 4th place as they charge up the hill.
Third.
Drew Halliday has got a great start. Yeah, Herfoss up to 3rd, Halliday up to 5th.
Yeah, what a good start there by Herfoss again, considering he hasn't ridden with these guys for such a long time. Nice and tight through there. Where's Anthony West? He's in 6th. That's a better start for him.
Yeah, right ahead of his teammate Jack Favell too, Steve.
Oh, look at Dunker up the inside.
Dunker's made his intentions quite clear early on in this one.
Yeah, he's not too worried, is he?
No, well, he doesn't care about anyone else. He just desperately wants to take the win for himself and for Patrick Lee's MotoGo racing team.
Yeah, that was a great move by Dunker to just nip up the inside of Mike Jones. But we know how strong he is in the first few laps. And there goes Anthony West early on that tight inside line. Oh, my God. No, they haven't learnt yet, have they?
Well, Crew Halliday left the door open, but can he repay the favour back down the straight? Once again, it's a carbon copy of what was happening in race number 1. But down into Motul Corner, it is still Dunker. Oh, bike's starting to move around a little bit there. I think Dunker was just very keen to get onto the right-hand grip as hard as he possibly could as they made their way up the hill towards Kawasaki Corner.
I think West, even though Crew Halliday did go past, West managed to get back past him too.
Also, Brock Pearson, well placed, sitting there in 7th place on board that Desmo Sport Ducati bike number 11. You can see him there just ahead of Favell. Johnny Littris has also got off to a great start as well in 9th position, sitting right behind Favell on the Addicted to Track machine bike number 33.
Now, if Mike Jones wins this race, Josh Waters needs to finish 4th or better.
Correct.
No worse than 4th. Not going to be easy because look who's coming. He's in 4th now. Ant West is right behind him.
And remember, he finished 5th in race number 1 ahead of Ant West.
He did. And West is already on the back of him now. So.
Well, actually, no, it was just behind Ant West because Westy was fighting with Herfoss for that final place on the podium.
It's not a given, is it, that he's going to wrap the championship up in this race?
Not when you've got riders the calibre of that group at the front of this field. Have a look how many World Championship races these guys have been in, how many Australian Championships they've won. It is a very, very impressive list.
on top of that, here goes Westy up the inside, looking, thinking about it, can't do it. On top of that, when was the last time you remember Waters being in a dice like this? He normally just gets out in front and he's gone.
Probably the only times has been in wet conditions where he's let the bike settle down for a couple of laps, but in the dry, not any time this season.
No, exactly. Here goes...
No, Waters has obviously watched race number 1 as well.
Yes, exactly.
Because he closed the door off midway through the slingshot corner there through Yamaha Revs Your Heart, and there was no way that Westy was able to do his signature move up the inside. But Cameron Dunker still leading, everybody just following in suit at the moment.
Mike Jones is good out of that into AMMF corner there. He picks the bike up a little bit more and takes a little bit tighter line than Cam Dunker out of there, which is better on the tyre because you're upright earlier. That's a corner there where you can put a lot of load into the tyre if you leant over a little bit too much, and that's what Dunker is doing at that point, just leaning over that a little bit more compared to Mike's style.
Crew Halliday right on the back of this group as well. The gap back to Crew Halliday is just under 1 second from the race lead. So fastest rider on track on that first flying lap. No surprise to see that it is Anthony West with a 59.0.
And that was overtaking people, yeah?
That was carving his way through the field. As we come round now to complete lap 4. Remember, this is a 20-lap race. It is 20 physical laps of the One Raceway venue.
The difference between Mike Jones and Cam Dunker, and you can just see the experience. Jones was like maybe 20 centimetres closer to the inside when he tipped in. Like, Jones is really pinpoint accurate to be able to pick the inside line compared to Dunker. Dunker's a little bit looser on his line choice. Mike Jones is more precise, and that's how he can look after his tyres better. And get those faster lap times later on in the race.
Well, that's why he's known as Metronomic Mike, because he does that lap after lap. Puts the bike, no, that's is that bike number 33 that has gone down. Just having a look now to see if Jack Favell is dropping back through the other field. But that looked like a relatively big crash. Oh, Jones down the inside. So Jones thinks it's now time to go.
Yeah, it is Jack Favell.
Yeah, crashed at turn 4. That's up towards the top of the hill. There you go. Dunker lofting the front wheel, changing direction. Red flag. So Jones had just gone into the lead.
So it'll go back a lap from that.
Yeah, so we were on the 10th lap of this 20-lap race. So we will wait and see what the race distance will be. You know what that's going to mean, Steve? It's going to mean that it's going to be a very short race with a lot of action, because we know what it's like. At the end of that first 9 laps,
unofficial,
we had, what's that, 1.1 seconds between the top 6 and 1.9 seconds between the top 7 after 9 laps of racing, or after 8 laps of racing. So it's going to be very, very tight all the way to the finish of this restarted race number 2 for SW-Motech Superbikes here at One Raceway. Jones had just taken the lead over Cameron Dunker. We'll have a short break here from One Raceway while the teams get the bikes ready and we get ready to go racing in SW-Motech to decide who will be the round victor here at One Raceway. Welcome back to One Raceway in Goulburn. It is the 7th round of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul. Red flag stoppage means we have a 10-lap shortened race. Still 10 laps of physical action here at One Raceway. Green flag leaves the back of the grid. Red flag ready to leave the front. We're in the starter's hands. Revs rise. Superbikes go. Good start from Herfoss. He's got a cracking start from 3rd place. He's pulled up level with Jones. In fact, he's gone past Jones, but Dunker and Waters will be fighting it out for the lead as they go through turn 1 and 2. Both of them off the circuit. Waters right over the ripple strip, out onto the dirty part of the circuit. He's dropped back to now about 6th position, and it's JJ Nalos that is up to 4th place, charging early on that Motor City Honda.
Yeah, this has been a little while since we've seen a Honda up the front here at this circuit. The last person would have been Troy Herfoss, I'd imagine.
Well, Troy Herfoss did some magnificent things at this circuit on a Honda as Westy getting aggressive early up the inside of Nalos.
The significant thing here is Josh Waters has got a horror start down in 6th. He needs to finish 4th if Mike Jones wins this.
He was lucky to stay on the bike as he was right off the circuit as they went through Pirelli and Motul corners on that first lap. Westy's seen his opportunity here, straight up the inside of Herfoss and into a 3rd place now behind our early race leader Mike Jones and Cameron Dunker in 2nd place. There goes Westy.
Westy's probably thinking he's in a good spot right now, isn't he? Like, we know how strong he is towards the end of the race. And the only bikes, well, he's got to try and get past the 2 Yamahas. So similar sort of bike should be easier to pass than the Ducati.
Right, so we're on lap 2 of this 10-lap race. Waters back there. He cannot win the championship from that position. He has to finish 4th. He has to finish 4th.
Oh!
Was that Herfoss off the circuit on the dirt?
Of course it was. Herfoss has given it everything
Well,
he's got.
He used to race a bit of flat track. Probably no stranger to the soft stuff around here at Goulburn.
Yeah, so Waters is in 5th. He needs to pass at least one person.
Well, that's not going to be easy because the person directly in front of him is Troy Herfoss.
He knows it too.
So JJ Nalos doing a good job here, holding on to the back of Waters. Right behind Nalos is Crew Halliday. We know that Honda's fast in a straight. Look at the speed differential between Waters and Herfoss, but Herfoss's corner run-in speed to turn 1 and 2 is exceptional.
It is, and I thought he was going to run wide again, but he held it perfectly.
He was just able to run in there so fast, not unsimilar to what I've seen him do on the Honda here many, many times. Just run through there, but that was the other area of the circuit where JJ Nalos was also very impressive when I was watching on track yesterday, Steve, was the corner run-in speed. Visibly very, very quick, JJ, but this was the corner where he crashed. It was also the corner that was costing him his lap time.
Yeah, I'm sure that he's going to be taking a little bit softer now, but he's got Krug Halliday behind him. He does look very comfortable on the Honda, I must say.
Yeah, the body language of JJ indicates that he's got a pretty good relationship with that machine early on. So as they come across the line to complete 3 laps, it is Jones who has just set the fastest lap of the race on the first flying lap, and he's only 1/10 slower, less than 1/10 slower on this lap. Troy Herfoss has set his fastest lap of the race, building momentum now.
How crazy is this, right? They were doing 59.1, 59.2 for the first 8 laps when the tyres are new. Now, in this, with the same tyres after they've had a rest and stop, they're doing 58s, the front 3 guys.
Yeah, and even Herfoss in 4th done a 59.2, so matching the times with the heat cycle and less grip, as you pointed out, Steve. Just recapping that positions inside the top 10. We've got Herfoss in 4th with the 3 riders ahead of him. So it's Waters in 5th, Nalos in 6th, Halliday 7th.
Look at Halliday. That was a big move by Crew Halliday up the inside of Jonathan Nalos.
We realised he had to get past and move up into 7th place early on. Then we've also got Littrus in 9th and Ty Lynch rounding out the top 10. Been a solid weekend from Ty Lynch.
It really has. He's been riding really good this weekend. John Littrus as well, top 10 from him. Both of those guys in the 59s, which is pretty impressive.
So Waters and Herfoss, remember 2 years ago, it was these two that were battling for the Australian Championship, and that was at the Bend Motorsport Park. Herfoss eventually getting the nod over Waters when Waters crashed in that final race of the season.
Well, there's definitely a lot of pressure on now, and the question is, what will Crew Halliday do being a fellow Ducati rider? Will he go past or will he stay there? He knows what's up for grabs. He knows that the guy just in front of him, Josh Waters, needs to finish 4th, which he's not at the moment. He's in 5th.
JJ Nalos on the inside of Crew Halliday there, coming through the bottom of Ducati corner. Was he able to get through? No. Oh, actually, no, it's Brock Pearson that's closed up onto the back of JJ.
Yeah, lap times now. Like, wow. Cam Dunker's just uncorked a 58.6. He's 0.12 off the back of Mike Jones. That's a cracker of a lap. Dunker is looking good in this one.
Well, Dunker looking for victory in MotoGo Yamaha's 50th round in the Australian Superbike Championship. What a way to celebrate 50 rounds of ASBK racing for Patrick Lee's MotoGo Yamaha team if he can take victory in this second race.
If he does take victory and Waters finishes in 5th, Waters still has a shot of being the champion.
That is correct, Steve, because Jones would be deprived of 5 points.
I wonder if they know that, Yamaha.
I don't think Cam Duncan really cares.
No,
to be honest, I think he's got his eyes focused 100% on taking the win, and Jones probably knows that is the scenario as well. That he can't rest on his laurels and think that that Dunker is just going to let him have this one on a plate.
Well, that's a wide line there by Dunker. He makes it work.
Gets the drive out of the final corner. We'll have a look at the lap times on that last lap. 59.0 for Jones, 59.1 for Dunker. Nothing between them. 59.3 for Westy as well, so he's actually 0.2 of a second slower than Dunker in second place.
It almost looks like Jones is regrouped a little bit, although I say that, but up the top of the hill, he gets closed right back down again.
You can't tell with Mike Jones because his body language doesn't change either. It's only his lap times that change.
Exactly.
Here's the battle for championship points. Oh, you can see there's dirt there on the circuit. That was where Herfoss would have run off the circuit earlier on the race. We saw that dust coming up, Steve.
Yeah.
A little bit of dust on the edge of the circuit. So you don't want to run wide there on the exit of turn 7, coming down the hill into Ducati corner. Otherwise, you could end up losing the front end.
Yeah, Crew Halliday putting in a real solid ride this time out, just sitting in there behind Waters. Can learn a lot. He's got a better drive this time as Josh Waters, but back out front, that gap is still pretty stable.
Metronomic Mike, another 59.0 at the head of the field, a 59.1 from Dunker again, so pretty much no difference in their lap times from the last lap.
Well, he's running out of laps to do it, that is for
sure. Is Dunker just sitting there keeping his powder dry, not wanting to let Mike Jones know what's in his bag of tricks?
Ooh.
Oh, it looked like he may have lost the front there.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. He's a little bit too far back. But he seems to be able to catch him up in other areas. So it's going to be interesting to see how this last lap plays out. But look, it's Yamaha 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment.
Then it's Ducati 5, 6, Honda in 7th, Ducati in 8th and 9th with the Yamaha for John Littress. In fact, Glenn Allerton has just moved up into 9th place, getting the better of the young Queenslander and former Supersport champion. So the veteran, who's had no training and not a lot of track time since injuring his back at Phillip Island, is up into the top 10.
Right, well, this is it. He needs to do it this lap.
Well, and they're at the top of the hill now. Is Dunker in a position to try and scythe his way through at the top of the hill, or will he wait for the bottom of the hill and a big out-braking manoeuvre as they come down into Ducati corner? Can Cameron Dunker take his first race win?
No.
No, Jones has got that one covered. It's going to have to be a risky manoeuvre from Dunker if he's going to get the job done. Although he's got good drive through Ducati corner. Switches the direction at SW-Motech, gets great drive out of here as well. Can he do it as the entry into Yamaha Revs Your Heart corner?
No, Jones is too good.
Can he go on the inside? Can he do an Ant West type move? No, Jones has got that one well and truly covered. It is going to be Jones that will take 2 from 2 here at One Raceway.
It is.
Jones surges to victory, a perfect weekend for Jones. Pole position, 2 race wins. The championship battle will go to the wire at the Bend Motorsport Park, with Josh Waters finishing in 5th position. The championship gap will be 50 points by my calculation, Steve. Not enough for Waters to take the championship here. He virtually has to score 1 point at the Bend Motorsport Park to be crowned champion. So the battle will go all the way to the final round. There's no early celebrations for Josh Waters because Magnificent Mike has been magic at One Raceway this weekend. He takes the win by 0.1 of a second over Cameron Dunker. His best ever weekend of ASBK racing with a front row grid position and 2 second place finishes. Ant West on the podium again. A great run of season form for Ant West in 3rd. Herfoss in 4th. Waters in 5th. Crew Halliday in 6th. Narlos 7th. Brock Pearson 8th. Allerton in 9th. Then Littress rounds out your top 10.
Yeah, what a good top 10 that was. Ty Lynch in 11th with Ryan Yanko, Josh Sutherland and Paul Lincolnbach. Good to see him get that bike of his going too, who finished in 14th.
Top three will be making their way back to the podium now. And you reckon Mike Jones is pretty happy with that one? Adds to his tally of wins this year. So 4 wins now for Mike Jones in season 2025. 4 wins, 3 pole positions. It's been a good year for Mike Jones.
And his first double, his first perfect weekend.
His first perfect weekend, correct. Well, the top 3 have made their way back to the podium. Down to you, Chris.
Yeah, what an SW-Motech Superbike race 2 that was. Westy, or should I call you Buzz Lightyear? I think that's what they named you here last year, but on the podium, congratulations.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, I went for a bit of a fly last year, so try not to do that again. And yeah, Mike and the young fella, I forget his name. They were fast this weekend, all weekend. I'm happy to be on the podium. We should have been here in race 1, but I'm happy with the result. So team done an awesome job as always, and we're just getting better.
Oh, well done, Westy, and good luck for the Ben.
Cool, thank you. Thanks.
There you go, it's our 3rd place man. 2nd place, and so close to his first ever Australian Superbike race win, Cam Dunker. Congratulations. I think you made a change there, maybe went with a harder front tyre. Looked like it worked.
Yeah, I think we ran that since yesterday morning, and yeah, we were sort of doubting ourselves before that race to go back, but anyway, we stuck to our guns, and yeah, that was a hard race, probably one of the one of the toughest races I've been in. It's awesome racing the best guys in Australia, and it's just a massive confidence booster. Yeah, I can't thank my team enough to give me a good bike to run down a 3-time Australian champion. So I mean, I can't thank all them guys enough.
Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
There you go. It's our 2nd place man and our race winner. Perfect weekend, pole position, 2 race wins. Mike Jones, congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, look, it has been a little while since I've had a clean sweep weekend, but it's a really good feeling, really great. You know, again, special thanks to the Yamaha racing team, you know, particularly my guys, Dylan and Liam and Kev in the team. They've just put such a big effort in to give me a great motorbike, and yeah, it was just really great to get 2 wins for them. Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, you need another perfect weekend and you can wrap up the championship, so it's still alive.
That's the goal, just keep it alive. Yeah, we'll roll on to the next one and see how we go.
Well, there you go. There are podium finishers and race winner Mike Jones from the SW-Motech Australian Superbike Race 2.
Well, congratulations to Mike Jones. He keeps that championship alive. 50 points the difference between Josh Waters on 338 points and Mike Jones on 288. And West has solidified 3rd place in the championship now on 269. Dunker in 4th, Glenn Allerton in 5th. Brock Pearson has slipped back to 6th this weekend. JJ Nalis in 7th, Jack Favell in 8th, Johnny Littress in 9th, and Maxi Stouffer. Hopefully we'll see him back at the Bend after he's completed his overseas duties in 10th position. Plenty more action coming up. There is one more round at the Bend on the 7th to the 9th of November. Get in, get your tickets now. It is going to be a great way to finish off the year. We've only seen 1 champion crowned. There are plenty more to be crowned at the Bend, including that man there, Josh Waters. Can he do it and make history? The only 5-time Supersport champion. Can Archie McDonald challenge for the Supersport Championship? We'll find out on the 7th to the 9th of November at the Bend. We'll see you there.